from here.
Can you make that a little bigger?
We'll just drag it down the corner here. Like so.
All right. Can everyone? All right. Welcome to BE280A, Principles of Biomedical Imaging. I'm Tom Liu. I'm one of your professors, and this is Professor Elliot McVeigh. So we'll be co-teaching the course. And so the format of today is I'm going to spend about 5 or 10 minutes just going over the logistics, and then we're going to switch gears, and Professor McVeigh is going to do the first lecture. And the way the course is structured is Professor McVeigh will pretty much handle the first half of the course in terms of lectures and homeworks, and then I'll come in and sort of the second half of the course. Okay. So first of all, if you're new to UCSD, welcome to UCSD. And if you're returning, welcome back. Okay. So we do have, we're just going to go down this list here. So everyone knows the course description. We introduced instructors. Because it is a large class, the largest we've had for a while, we do have 3 TAs, and so we're going to ask you guys to stand up. So we got Ryan in the back there. So let's see what Ryan looks like. Okay, we've got Shuang there in the middle, and we've got Jonathan. Okay, so these are going to be 3 of the most important people for you for this course. They will be leading TA sessions. I just saw that they sent out a poll to sort of see when are good times for TA sessions. So please respond to that so that you can get your preference as to when you want to have those TA sessions. We do use MATLAB throughout the course, and I just noticed, I don't know, you noticed, like they just came out with a medical imaging toolbox.
Oh, did
so we should check that out.
Oh,
yeah, it's in the 2022B release.
Great.
So we will be using MATLAB since it's the easiest sort of thing to use, and everyone has a license to that. So if you're not familiar with MATLAB, it's not like we're going to do super high-powered MATLAB, but you should be comfortable with it. If you've done any programming, MATLAB is fairly easy to learn. It's very intuitive. It's got a nice graphical interface. But if you want some extra help, the TAs have graciously offered to make the sort of first a week or 2 of TA office sessions more focused on MATLAB. So I would definitely recommend you go to those if you want to sort of get up to speed on MATLAB. Okay. Lectures are here, as you all know, and we will be doing our best to do this hybrid in terms of it's on Zoom now, and I think there are a few people on Zoom. Now, that said, there's sometimes technical difficulties. We'll do our best to make sure, and the recordings will all be posted on YouTube, so you can review them. So the recordings typically work out okay. Sometimes the Zoom, if we lose a connection, we have to reestablish it. And then some of the, especially in the MRI part, we do some sort of demonstrations in class. You can sort of see them online, but it is a little better in person. The in-person experience tends to be a little better, just so you know. Okay, so office hours for Professor McVeigh and myself will be here. So we're just going to stick around after lecture. Okay, so basically that's the time when you can ask us questions. So after Monday and Wednesday lecture, and that you can also join those via Zoom as well. So we'll keep the Zoom link alive for office hours right after lecture. And then the TA office hours are TBD. So that's basically based on your feedback over the next day or 2. That's what determine the TA office hours. Okay. Any questions up to now? Okay. So there are unfortunately 2 Zoom links, and unfortunately I'm part of the health system and Elliot's part of the general campus, and for reasons I don't understand, there's 2 Zoom licenses. So we'll announce when the Zoom links switch, but just for the first part, whatever Zoom link we're using, Zoom link 1 is for everything up to project 1, and then we switch over. Okay. Zoom link 2 is then for the second half. I'll talk a little about supplementary sessions and also project 2 presentations. All right. Lectures will be posted on, let me see, how do I get over there? Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so lectures are on the BE280 2022 playlist. Right now, they're just a placeholder video. If you go to the main channel, you can see lectures from all previous years as well, or the last few years. So if you want to, for whatever reason, see past years' videos, they're there. Supplementary sessions, those are optional. Sometimes, we have a big range of students and backgrounds, and so We do offer some supplementary sessions to go over anyone who wants to review linear systems or Fourier transforms. We do offer those. Those are on the schedule now, and there's 2 scheduled right now. They are scheduled to be over Zoom, but about a week in advance, I'll send a poll, and if anyone wants it in person, I'm happy to do in person, do hybrid. Okay, so obviously we can do everything over Zoom, but if you would prefer some in person, then we can do that as well. All right. The required text is one we've been using for quite a while. It's medical imaging signals and systems. And you may have gotten an email from Red Shelf directly. There's instructions here. Basically, if you just go to the module section, you should see a Red Shelf module. Has anyone tried that? Has anyone been able to it works? Good. Okay, so it all works. So the idea there is you are opted in now, which means if you have agreed to pay for that, I don't know, what's the price, like 35, 40? Did they tell you?
No, I don't.
Like it's pretty reasonable, and you get lifetime access to this digital book. But if you don't want it, you have to opt out by October 8th. Okay, so that's the main thing to realize, is that if you don't opt out, they'll end up charging your account. All right. And also there are mistakes in the book. If you click on this link, there are errors, and so that's just there for your reference. Okay. There are some supplementary texts that, if you're really interested in it, are useful to get, but not required. Everything in this course, we will be using Canvas. The lecture slides will both be all in the module sections, and we will typically, I think we generally try to get the slides up before the lecture so you can follow them and take notes if you want to. All right. And also slides and material from prior to 2016 can be accessed at that website. Everything between 2016 and now, you can't really access it. It's on Canvas, so we can't really make that available. But you can watch all the videos as much as you want online. I guess this should be updated in 2021, so that goes to 2021 now. Okay. So grading. There's a couple components of grading. One is quizzes and class participation. So typically what we did last year that seemed to work pretty well is during parts of the course, we will have some online quizzes in Canvas. These will be graded more for participation. So if you sort of get half of everything right, or I forget what the grading scheme was, but it's pretty easy to get most of the points. And if you just don't do anything, then you still get some points. But it's just to encourage you to review the material in advance and just give you a little bit of incentive to be prepared. Homeworks are 20%, so that's a key part of the learning process. And there's 2 projects, so there's no exams in this course. We sort of switched over to that during COVID, and I think we'll just stick with that for now. And so there's a project sort of midway that's going to be in the schedule. That's mostly going to be focused on X-rays and CT, and then the final project is on MRI. Okay, and those are group projects. Depending on how many students we end up having in the course, we'll have to figure out how to actually do that. We typically have people give in-class presentations, but if we have too many groups, we might need to think about how to handle that. Okay. As I said, class participation is typically in Canvas, or there's other tools we might use. And some homework assignments and will require MATLAB, and certainly, the better projects will make use of MATLAB, or at that point, you're welcome to use Python or anything you feel familiar with, but in terms of the better projects will tend to do some of their own programming to sort of show, different aspects of medical imaging. So this is the syllabus, so you can sort of get a sense of what's coming online. And so basically the project presentations are, Halloween and then the day after that. I guess this is scary. It's like Halloween and then voting, or right after voting day, right? So this will be a very scary week. So that's our project presentation week. And then the second presentation is actually going to be during the final exam period for this course. So that's like a 3-hour chunk that we've already got reserved for the course. So instead of taking up class time for that, instead of final exam, the final project 2 will be in this room. All right. So that's most of the course logistics. I think, if you have any questions, always you can either ask us in person, send us an email. Obviously, TAs are available as well. Just make use of the resources. So that's about all I had to say. Are there any questions before I turn it over to Professor McVeigh? Yes. Yes, it's just for the book. No, I mean, it's not for tuition or anything like that. It's just for the book. Oh, yes, that's right. Just the book, I believe, yeah. I believe you just not get access to the book. You get access, everything else is part of the course. It's just the book is Red Shell. Yes, good question. Any other questions? Okay.